Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Here for Bitcoin, we are still here focusing on a potential additional low below 19.5K. This is still the expectation as long as we stay below 20,572, which is sort of a breakout. We're currently trading in a range. It's a very choppy market. In the last few days, I talked about, this is perfect for a range trader at the moment if you're a range trader, but it's not the setup for everybody. But we are in this range, and the range certainly points towards the potential in the market that we could see one more low. Now, this is what I primarily expect, because this is, you can call it a bear flag. Also, the trade setup shows us basically a potential for another low. The Elliott Wave count shows us the potential for another low that could go down all the way to 17.6K, of course, and we could still be in a bullish scenario. Yeah, but what we need to understand, as soon as we drop below 18.9K, we are going to invalidate one of our bullish scenarios, which is this one here, where we have a 1-2 setup here, and that would be invalidated if we drop below 18.9K. So if we drop below that 18.9K level, it will just make the bullish case less likely. But we could still be in the bullish scenario unless we really drop below 17.6K. That is what the trade setup suggests to us, because there is still the scenario where we could count all of this as a leading diagonal, then come down in a wave 2, and then we can draw the Fibonacci levels a little bit different. But even here, then that the 88.7% Fib level is the 18.4K level. So a drop below that would then be, in that scenario, very difficult for the bullish case. But overall, what you need to understand, below 18.9K, it will just get very difficult for the overall bullish scenario. It won't be invalidated though until we go below 17.6K, because I had a few questions that I now primarily expect a lower low, but how can I still say 60% probability for the bullish case? Well, I understand it's difficult at the moment in this market, and what I tell you is, as long as we are staying below 20,572, we have to expect another low, because this is just sideways ranging after a downtrend, and there is currently, we're not getting off the ground here. Yeah, we're not getting off the ground. This can of course change. Especially here in the lower time frames. Yeah. So I said before, if we get above already here 20,170, this would already be an indication that previous wave 4 high, that we have a good chance to recover from here. Yeah. But at the moment, we're just not doing it. And even though you see a bit of a green candle here, but that's not strong enough yet. So of course we could make a lower low here, stay above 18.9K still. And even if we don't, if we go below that level, yes, we would invalidate one of our bullish patterns. We would still have the leading diagonal scenario and could then still move higher. Yes, still by going below 18.9K, we would dismiss one of our bullish scenarios, but it doesn't mean that we completely scrap all of the bullish cases, because there is still one bullish case. It would lose in probability, however. Yeah. So yeah, but we can still make a lower low here, hold above 18.9K, for example, just to understand that. Even though I said before, we need to be realistic here. If we now look at the Fibonacci levels, this would take us below 18.9K if we really make another low, and if it is a normal impulse. So, bottom line is we don't know at the moment. We need to watch these key levels here at the moment to understand where we're heading next, right? So key to understand at the moment, I think, what are the key levels? What are the key scenarios that can unfold if a certain condition is met or broken? What are the next steps that the market is going to take? And at the moment, we can see a slight decoupling of various coins from Bitcoin. For example, Ethereum looks much stronger than Bitcoin. Yeah, Bitcoin is just very choppy and just sideways and looks weak. It does, but as long as we're holding above 18.9K, the bulls can defend the scenario. We talked about the indicators in the last few videos, talked about how actually on the longer term indicators, the situation doesn't look so bad. I mean, Bitcoin's chart really doesn't look so bad. Of course, and even if it does make a lower low, not a problem. Yeah, I'm giving it a 40% probability. This is not only 20 or 10%. Please understand that. the bearish case has a 40% probability. That is quite high. That means we need to allow for both options, even though I'm leaning slightly towards the bullish case. But it doesn't mean that I'm super bullish here. No, and I have never been. Yeah, all we're doing here is investing the case for the bulls, because there is a compelling case for a bullish scenario. There is also one for the bearish scenario. So as I said, throughout the last few weeks, we need to allow for both options at the moment, until we really have a confirmed impulse to the upside and a 3-wave correction to the downside. For example, Ethereum is doing that. Yeah, Ethereum is doing that. Ethereum is looking much more bullish. Matic is looking much more bullish than Bitcoin. So unfortunately, Bitcoin is sort of leading the market, but there are coins that are looking much more convincing at the moment. So short term, still another low expected, below the levels that I told you. It could still hold above 18.9k, of course. It's best to drive on site at the moment. Yeah, if we go below 18.9k, good chance to retest the 17.6k level with a bit of support at the 18.5k level beforehand. Okay, so this is currently the situation where we are. So in the bullish case, then we would still expect a recovery from here at some point. Also, if we open the bearish case, so let me just do that. Bitcoin bearish scenario, even here, yeah, possibly after an extension of this wave to the downside, this wave 1, there could be again also here one more low, of course, because overall you would expect that based on that bear flag here, that there will be one more dip in a wave 1 to the downside, and we could then be looking at a wave 2 retracement. I'm still waiting for this one. So at any point in time here, I would expect a recovery to the upside. I talked about that last week already. Since then, we've only had sideways movement, but I'm telling you, there could be one more dip before we see that. There should be, though, this recovery. If there isn't, it would become something much more bearish here, which I don't see at the moment. Of course, I could be wrong, yeah, and therefore look at the key levels. If they get broken, we're going to go down the floor, yeah. But at the moment, I'm still thinking we are not yet heading to the upside. If we do, I gave you the key levels to watch. For now, I'm expecting primarily another extension to the downside here in a wave 1 in the bearish case, and in the bullish case also here possibly another dip before we recover. Same story here on the bearish chart, because there should be a wave 2 recovery that takes us into 22 to 23k. That is still what I would expect in the bearish case, and in the bullish case we would expect a recovery anyway. However, most likely after an additional dip, or you could call it an extension to the current wave, which is already unfolding, because we can't really get off the ground here. So hopefully that is clear. Very choppy market, I know, but this is usually followed by quite a strong impulse into any direction really. So we need to be ready for that, for additional volatility. You can now, with the latest move up, even draw another trend line here. So let's see if the market is adhering towards that. If this is a relevant trend line, we should now see a bounce to the downside to round about 19.6k again, and then we'll see what happens. Okay, and that is my update about Bitcoin. So hopefully you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.